Welcome to everybody. This is last meeting this year, Ambassador for Ukraine, our program. And we had a lot of meeting online, but what is difference to previous year, still more meeting offline. Is this really good progress of this year? So welcome to everybody to this final meeting where we want to just conclude all results, all main maybe take some lessons from our great work up to me we did during this year. And to start this meeting, we welcome also our honorable guests from Ministry of Economy, Alexei Bakhtinov. He represents he's head of Department of Manufacturing Industry in Ministry of Economy, which is really very important partner for us. So Alexei, the floor is yours.
Evening, dear colleagues. Thank you for the invitation to your meeting. We really appreciate your efforts in order to develop a cluster economy in Europe and especially in Ukraine, because currently I represent, as Alex said, I represent the Ministry of Economy of Ukraine and the Office of Processing Industry Development that was created recently and is dedicated to acceleration of development of the processing industries in Ukraine. I'd like to highlight that currently the Ministry of Economy focus its efforts on the development of processing industries and especially in the light of the further recovery of Ukrainian's economy. And in that process, we will rely on the concept of cluster economy. And in order to make some additional acceleration to the Ukrainian economy development, I think I'm sure you know that the cluster economy for Ukraine isn't a new conception. I understand that you know Ukrainian clusters that perhaps, for example, were represented recently in, for example, in the on the event in Krakow. But unfortunately, we are just. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
No. I think it's yeah. Hi, Adrian. Hi. Yeah.
Hi. How are you? Apologies for delay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Unfortunately, almost all our clusters are in the start of their path to the future success, and I'd like to highlight that the Ministry of Economy will make any neat efforts to support our clusters in order to take a new quality of Ukrainian economy. Thank you, and I'd like to highlight in addition that we really appreciate your efforts in this way and in this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexei. Yeah, Teresa, you have raised your hand. You wanted.
Yes, I am raising my hand because initially we had the intention to have here today also your counterpart, Alexei, from the Ministry of Industry and Trade. Unfortunately, the people that we are in contact are not able to join today because they are really busy before the end of the year and they have some project deadlines and so on. But I'm entitled to transfer very kind kind greetings from the Ministry of Industry and Trade of the Czech Republic. We are there in contact with two relevant sections where are some kind of governmental programs or ministerial programs to support collaboration with Ukraine. First section is Ministry of EU and Foreign Affairs. These are the people that you have met physically in Prague or Brno at the occasion of the Ukrainian missions to the Czech Republic. And the other section is Ministry of Digitization and Innovation. And Mr. Deputy Minister Očko, we are meeting right the day after tomorrow, and he has promised really to take care of the Czech-Ukrainian collaboration in the field of digital innovation and future European digital innovation hubs. So just sincere greetings from the ministry, and they are sending apologies they cannot be here.
Thank you, Teresa. Antonio, now your greeting from European Cluster Alliance, please.
Thank you very much, Alex. I'm very honored to be here today with you. I think that you are demonstrating the value of the solidarity with the Ukrainian clusters through the European Cluster Alliance and through the institutions that are represented here. I am very glad to see how quickly and how strongly you are growing in your capacities. And I need to say congratulations to the Ukrainian Cluster Alliance for facilitating the process. You know, it has been very important for us, the European Cluster Alliance, and also for the ECCP from the European Commission, from DG GROW, to have the continuous dialogue that we have created from March 2022, with you. And it has been extremely useful for facilitating the contacts and the opportunities that we are helping to channel through the Ukrainian Cluster Alliance. For example, this past week, we have been able to introduce one Ukrainian cluster to one European project proposal, just because we have this kind of instrument, no? And I think that this group of professionals for Ukraine is especially critical in order to enable those kind of opportunities. I know that the DG GROW, not only the unit on clusters, but generally speaking, many other units find the Ukrainian Cluster Alliance and those clusters as an important agent. And we are together making possible to better understand your needs and our priorities, contributing to drawing those priorities at European level. We need to remember that we are a member of the EU Industrial Policy Forum, and also even we are coordinators of the task force that is coordinating, creating the transition pathways for the 14 industrial ecosystem. And you are contributing with your approaches, your interests, and your needs. So I'm really glad to be here in the last meeting of this year and see how quickly it's developing this ecosystem, how strong. I would say that it's very clear for Europe that in the current geostrategical situation, our innovation ecosystems are critical to not to lose competitiveness, but also gain. And we are facing strong challenges inside Europe, you know, on terms of how to integrate cybersecurity, how to make stronger our economic sovereignty, how to change and reduce our dependencies, and on all those areas, cluster has a strong role to play, and the Ukrainian cluster in special should look for and must look for the opportunities and the opportunities of their members, their companies. So glad to be here again, and glad to look for what we can do in the next years in order to improve all those ecosystems. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Antonio. We really appreciate your support and European Cluster Alliance, but also many cluster associations really felt this support this year. I will mention still about it. So thanks a lot, and also another colleagues who's missed maybe today, Marek Bsher from DigiGrow, because typically you are both supported us the most from at the level of European Commission and European cluster policy. Yeah, let me share my screen and start now some short speeches. In fact, one of the progress also this year is that our program is supported by GIZ. It's program EU4Business, how to increase the competitiveness of our SME and their way to internationalization. So thanks for GIZ. And this program today includes, as I said, like sharing of your experience. So I will start with just short overview of our program this year, and then we will see, we'll hear maybe, Teresa Shamanova, Adrian Yashik, Mike Richardson, Andrzej Chulak, Alex Chosovsky. Unfortunately, Anastasia Konstantinova is sick today, so Tatiana Vorontsova will replace him. And also, what is also a good sign, a good marker of our activity, cluster activity this year, there are many Ukrainian ambassadors who act in Europe, but they are today with us. Igor Kotsuba, Jan Rokitsky, Katerina Kislenko, I hope will be also with us. So we'll talk about say lesson, experience, exchange. So idea of this meeting, not just to summarize our collaboration this year, but also maybe to discuss a bit, you know, some perspective, some mechanism, instrument to make some how to say, not maybe assessment, but anyway to give some idea about the most effective tools, mechanisms we can use next year. So I start with just, you know, some reminding about our program evolution this year. So we started in 2022. This program, the name was Ambassador of Industry for Ukraine, because Ukrainian Cluster Alliance, we started from platform which united many business support organization, and it was before Ukrainian Cluster Alliance, it was called Industry for Ukraine. But then we moved quickly to the name Ambassador Professionals for Ukraine. The name comes from Luigi De Bernardini from Control System Integrated Association from US. And we had a lot of new ambassadors this year. We will mention still many of them in the next slide and speeches. So concluding briefly about main result of our program. Of course, it's my opinion, but I think that the first good result we have that we started to form bilateral program in smart industry, where up to me is the most successful, were colleagues from Czech Republic and from Poland. So Teresa Shimanova, in fact, she was in very close collaboration with two ministries of Czech Republic, and they used some specialized support program from Ukraine. She organized 3 business missions of our clusters to Czech Republic, and 2 others missions are planned for the next year. So this is part of government program, and it helped us to make contact with many clusters, many institutions, many innovation institutions and public bodies in Czech Republic. So we started like for this bilateral program. The similar approach was done in Poland by Adrian Yashik. He will be today with us. We organized it through Polish agency Industry 4.0 to study tour in Poland, but also there were other high contribution of other partner from rather from cluster association, and from Krakow cluster, Andrzej Chulak, Irana Lobotska. We just met a week ago in Krakow. It was really very good meetings with this new initiative for the next year. So another direction we developed a lot during this year, it's like deepening our collaboration between Ukrainian clusters and not just cluster, but also association, national association, because, for example, you see here Alex Chosowski, thanks to be with us today, Alex. So he represent Control System Integrated Association from US. It's the biggest association in not just US, it becomes international, covering also Canadian market and including a lot of countries also from Europe. So where we are here with our ambassador, so I think Mike Richardson, thanks to be with us today, he's like champion of, you know, to organize this 5 business mission to Ukraine. And in fact, it's biggest contribution of Mike of launching 2 our great initiative. First one is cluster initiative called Optech UA, but in fact it's about photonics segment. And second one, yeah, it's really great result for me because thanks to Mike, we launched it, you know, some like consolidated between clusters resource center for dual use technology. Yeah, so Mike contributed a lot, not just with his enthusiasm, energy, but also even in Ukraine, finding for us good contact and matching with them. With Ludovico, we make another good deal with between 2 state organization, between state agency of cybersecurity in CIBE, Spanish, and Ukrainian SSS CIP. And it was continuation of this, let's say, collaboration several weeks ago in Czech Republic, because yeah, we invited 3SSS CIP, sorry for this inconvenient name, but it's Ukrainian state agency of cybersecurity. We invited them in Brno, and we had another good meeting with, thanks to Teresa Shamanova, with National Agency of Czech Republic. But the beginning was with Ludovico. Also, Ludovico initiated today initiative dual use cybersecurity. Florian Andrews, maybe he's not today with us because he's prevented me, he will be busy. But it's like Mike, he organized also his own trips to Ukraine. He visited many regions, many clusters, and he provided consultation because Florian is specialist in sustainable development, sustainable economy. He provided this consultation for our cluster initiative, and also today is close, let's say, relationship with our innovator in the sustainable infrastructure, sustainable industry. I mentioned already Alex Chosowski, but of course we had great support from management of CSIA, Jose Rivera, and also Luigi Bernardini. He's, yeah, let's say, author of this initiative in 2022, Professionals for Ukraine. So we get steady support of Apao, who is co-founder of Ukraine Cluster Alliance at the annual conference of CSIA. And also Alex introduced a new mechanism which financially helps Apao and so far UCA to survive this difficult time. Finally, last but not least, we had the new colleagues from UK. They represent the chairman and manager for communication, Andy Bleeden. They represent the Global Medical Network Alliance. And so they organized with our resource center medical clusters some series of webinar publications supported rehabilitation program in UCA. I mentioned already about support from European Commission and European Cluster Alliance, but I should mention as well 3 the most active cluster association, which also we submitted to some common project like Visegrad Fund, and we had some other exchange, especially Daniel Kosnita, who organized a special Ukrainian forum inside of last cluster meet regions in Romania, and also some very fruitful exchange with Jiří Herinek from Czech Republic. So this is picture where we signed a memorandum of support of Ukraine with 5 Eastern European, Central European countries in Košice at the beginning of this year. Regarding involvement of the Ukrainian cluster into joint project, typically pan-European project, I mean European project like Horizon, Digital Europe, COSME, and so on. So we had here first like very good result with Loïc Marin. It's a French cluster SIM because APAO became a member of this consortium, and yeah, which win Horizon project for how to improve resilience of a value chain with cluster mechanisms, cluster tools. So thanks a lot to Loïc. For us, it's very important because typically we promote a lot of this mechanism. I mean, how European cluster can involve Ukrainian cluster into such project, and this is like first good market for us. And many Ukrainian people which are today abroad, Igor Kotsuba, Anastasia Konstantinova, Roman Kravchenko, Ivan Rokitsky, Katerina Kislenko, they helped a lot in our contact, in our relationship, improving relationship, improving our setup, some partnership with cluster organization from Europe. So this is very important for us, you know, because we know that Ukrainian diaspora is huge abroad. Yeah, it's millions of people. But really, when we are talking about mechanism, how to collaborate between cluster, between a professional community, it's not so obvious. So for us, it's of course very important to activate Ukrainian people abroad. And this year, I think we have good result. Sorry to don't mention. Not everybody, because it's like just, you know, what we see at a glance. Of course, we know about effective collaboration between, because Andrzej Chulak, he cooperated with Martin Kretschmann, who is here, and there is a set of new initiative we will launch maybe next year, and so on. So maybe, excuse me if I don't mention about every of our ambassador, but I think you can mention yourself, yeah, because we have enough time to speak. What is also a good sign for us that Ukraine Cluster Alliance started to develop a project of recovery. We have more than 50 projects in our portfolio. We spent a lot of resources to organize this project, to make them attractive, and in fact, many of them becomes more and more professional to present to European and also to American cluster. Maybe I forgot to mention another guy from US and Australia, Tristan Evans. I don't know if he is with us or not, but for example, he organized it next month in Kiev, our meeting with 2 American senators. I think, Alex, we should speak maybe separately about this visit, but idea is that US investor, they approach to also to recovery project in Ukraine, and they expect, you know, some proposal from different business support organization, and thanks to Tristan Evans to organize this meeting for us. So maybe I stop here. Because what is just to respect the timing. Yeah, maybe it's enough from my side, just to respect timing of our meeting. And if you have any question, it was just, you know, quick overview of our main result this year. I see that many of Ukrainian cluster joined us. It's also a good sign for me, because typically we had a lot of meetings with our ambassador in France, but maybe it's not so high involvement of the Ukrainian cluster. So today is much higher presence. So thanks for everybody joining us. Okay, Teresa, now I think according to our agenda, the floor is yours. Let's speak about your experience, your lessons, your result, how you see, how you feel this year. Please, Teresa.
Okay, so I can put my hand down because I only had one question related to your presentation, Alex, if it will be available afterwards, because yeah, it's amazing how wide the activities are and how many people from different countries are in touch and are involved. With some of them, we already know each other personally, but still there are always some new faces. So please, if you could kindly give us the presentation, and for sure, dear colleagues, please be sure that I will step in contact with you via LinkedIn or other networks. Well, about our experiences, I would summarize it that it's a wonderful feeling that we have really the support of the Czech government. And in fact, Alexis mentioned that the 3 missions have been organized within a governmental program. But in fact, it's a standard program of Ministry of Foreign Affairs that is focused on support of so-called economic diplomacy or trade interests of Czechia all over the world. But we have very much gained attention of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Czech Embassy in Kiev, related to really specific topics in digital innovation. We have started with the 3 topics. Maybe you remember from the last meetings of Professionals of Ukraine, but I will tell it again that there is a memorandum, 4 lateral memorandum signed in already 2022. And we have set up a set of 3 topics for collaboration, and now there will be already the 4th one raising. The 3 that are already on the table is smart industry, then cybersecurity, and then smart cities, regions, and communities. And to these topics, the missions of Ukrainian stakeholders to Czechia have been dedicated. There were 3 missions, 15 people each, and I really need to express my great gratitude to Ukrainian Cluster Alliance to create such a mixture of professionals in each mission. It was relevant for the Czech side, and that really promises that there will be continuation of the collaboration, because there haven't been only clusters and their membering companies, but also academic institutions, and also, as Alex has already mentioned, for example, a state body of Ukraine for cybersecurity. There were also some municipalities, regions, and so on. So for the moment, we are already working on 4 other memorandums, specifically in the field of cybersecurity, that will be hopefully signed soon. First one on the level of state authorities for cybersecurity. From the Czech side, there is a new KIP agency, the National Cyber and Information Security Office, and from the Ukrainian side, the SSS-CIT. Then 2 academic memorandums, Masaryk University at the Czech side and Brno University of Technology, and 3 universities that were present in the cybersecurity mission from the Ukrainian side. Just for your records, it was the National Technical University in Kiev, National Aerospace University, and National Aviation University. So we are very glad to also support this kind of collaboration between academia. And the 4th, of course, and main pillar is the cluster collaboration, or collaboration at the site of our cybersecurity hub University Institute. There's grouping 3 universities and some NGOs, including my home organization Czechino, and on the other side, the Ukrainian cybersecurity cluster as the new player on the Ukrainian cluster scene. So these 3 topics have been already set up, and the 4th topic that is currently raising is artificial intelligence, and the next mission planned for April of 2024 will be dedicated right to artificial intelligence. So this is a big plus that we are able to spread the topics in between the actors, the relevant themes that can be covered by them, and the continuation of collaboration. Alex has mentioned that we have support from the 2 ministries. I would accomplish that there is also support of the office of the Czech government, because there's a governmental envoy for reconstruction of Ukraine, a person that is in fact charged with coordination of the efforts across the Czech government. So the Ministry of Industry and Trade, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Office of the Government, the Chancellery of this governmental envoy, are supporting us. But the minus, and we would like to repair it for the next year, is that until now and throughout the last 2 years, there was establishment of only bilateral collaborations, Czech-Ukrainian. And we are very much aware that there is a will to have, like, for example, V4 level collaboration or Horizon project, and so on. So please let you be aware that we are very much looking forward to kind of multilateral collaboration, including Czech and Ukrainian stakeholders, mainly in these 4 topics, which means smart industry, smart cities, regions, communities, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. And there is very soon raising a scheme where we can continue in such a multilateral collaboration, because for the moment, you know, all of you who are in EU member countries, that there has been established recently a pan-European network of so-called European digital innovation hubs. For the moment, there are 227 European digital innovation hubs all over the Europe, in all the EU member countries, and also some other countries that have been associated to Digital Europe program before some time. And now there is a fresh selection procedure that is going to be published also for Ukraine and other countries like Moldova, Turkey, and Georgia. But the creation of this network of European digital innovation hubs in Ukraine, we consider as a very good opportunity for deepening of the collaboration, and also in the 4 topics I have mentioned, because we are part and partners of the sole Czech European Digital Innovation Hub on cybersecurity innovation hub based in Brno, but covering with its activities all the surface of the Czech Republic. We have already established the bilateral collaboration, and we have already had bilateral cross-border events with all our bordering countries, except Austria, which is planned for very soon. Adrian Jacek already knows that we are in contact with the Polish European Digital Innovation Hubs. We were also in some kind of a contact with the Polish composite cluster. So if Mr. Chulak is present here, he already knows that there is some Czech-Polish collaboration running. And after finishing this introductory round on the level of European Digital Innovation Hubs with Austria as the 5th neighboring country, we will have a network of 27 European Digital Innovation Hubs in Czechia and neighboring countries. And we would like to offer once, and it will be very, very soon, like in next 3-4 months, the European Digital Innovation Hubs in Ukraine will be selected. It is very probable that there will be Ukrainian clusters, also member or partnering organizations in these so-called EDIHs, European Digital Innovation Hubs. So please, dear colleagues, if some of you are involved in such EDIHs in your countries, let's collaborate on the level of Digital Europe program and the European Digital Innovation Hubs. Let's create create a multilateral collaboration. And that is, in fact, our challenge for the next year, because for the moment we have a multilateral network in Central Europe. We have bilateral relationships between Czechia and Ukraine in the field of digital innovation. So let's upgrade the collaboration under the Digital Europe program, and let's make some kind of networking in between the European Digital Innovation Hubs and other related stakeholders. So that's one challenge that we have in front of us. Definitely, let's have a look at possible Horizon projects. Alex, you've checked, congratulations to the first Horizon Europe project for APAU, but let's not sleep on roses, as we are saying in Czechia. Let's work on other projects. So definitely we are able to collaborate with you, and we are able to collect Czech stakeholders that could be good partners for your project. And for the next year, apart from the AI mission planned for April, definitely we will be continuing in the other topics, which means cybersecurity, smart cities, regions, and communities, and also smart industry. In the field of smart industry, we are planning another mission of Ukrainian stakeholders in October next year at the occasion of International Engineering Fair Trade in Brno. So there will be another Ukrainian mission, but let's focus on multilateral collaboration, and let's try to find topics and funding schemes that could support it. So hopefully I was not too long to make you tired, but yeah, there are really many topics we can work on. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I'd like just to show one slide. Let's say for me, it's my personal lesson about, sorry, this one. About, you mentioned about multilateral collaboration, but what we see in your case, and also Adrian Jacek, Poland case, it's rather about multi-stakeholder this collaboration, because from both sides we engage a lot of well, up to 5, 7, sometimes 10 different stakeholders. From Polish side, even more here from both sides. So this is up to me a very important lesson of this year, where we thanks to our common efforts, we reach to involve a lot of different stakeholders and to launch this collaboration. And up to me, this multi-stakeholders collaboration is really very powerful. And I think next year it will open for us like a new horizon, new way of collaboration. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Just not to be misunderstood. Of course, this multilateral collaboration now runs in the sense of Czech-Ukrainian. And
yes.
If I was talking about a multilateral, I was speaking better on a multinational or multi-country collaboration, because it runs very successfully and very efficiently on the Czech-Ukrainian level. And we can take it as example that it is possible, and connect also the relevant stakeholders from the other countries, because I know, for example, that the Spanish colleagues were very much interested to come to Czechia, but unfortunately, this money we have used for support is dedicated to Czech-Ukrainian collaboration. So let's make an upgrade, and let's find some funding scheme that will enable the multi-country collaboration. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Alex, if I can just mention this concept that you briefly touched on for the honorary membership. I think this is a good application of this idea for other countries. So member companies, the scheme has been set up and the structure exists for companies across Europe and in any country can become honorary members of a POW organization with a special discounted annual membership rate. And that can provide the type of funding that you're looking for right now. It's a very affordable entry point, and we had a lot of success at the US conference for system integrators. It's not a lot of money. I think we were charging $7,500 for an annual membership, right, Alex? But we were able to raise quite a bit of money by doing this. So that's the total amount I think we raised. But something that you can consider for fundraising activities across the multinational collaboration scheme.
Yeah, right. It's right remark, Alex. I think you can mention as well in your speech. It will be a bit later. Now I'd like to give floors to Adrian Yashik, just to continue about this bilateral collaboration between country we set up in smart industry. Adrian, please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. It's pleasure to be the part of this great project. It's very hard to compare with Teresa, and specifically that I represent the governmental body with their own ultimate goal being focusing on digital transformation of SMEs. But one of our activity is to build strong international collaborations, and we as a institution in 2019 we recognize Automatic Association, Ukrainian Automatic Association, as one of the key partner from Ukrainian side, and starting to build collaborations. Frankly, this year we finishing, as Alexander mentioned in his previous presentation, 2 study visit, because we've been focused on presenting the Ukrainian Cluster Alliance members, different stakeholders from several different regions in Poland, and sharing our experiences with building digital transformations ecosystem in regions, having that it's in some case they are pretty similar, like in Ukraine. And we organized the visit in Podkarpacie, in the Aviation Valley and the Technology Park, and also in Krakow, in the Krakow Technology Park, finishing with the Krynica Forum to present Ukrainian Cluster Alliance like one of the key stakeholders from Ukrainian side regarding the digital transformation. Last 2 weeks ago, we finishing the study visit in Legnica, special economic zone, which is one of the most increasing economic zone today in Poland. We organized B2B meetings with the companies. I hope that will strengthen the business between the members of Ukrainian Cluster Alliance and also with the Polish stakeholders. The next year we plan to organize several different study visits and focus more on presenting the Ukrainian Cluster Alliance during the different industry fairs, being a part of our activities. The other thing is that we would like to interview some experiences we've got already and share some tools we've been prepared during the last few years, especially the digital maturity assessments and other tools who are digital one and easy to translate and easy to use by the Ukrainian partners. The other thing is, after what we recognize during our missions, that even that the Poland is pretty active on the field with supporting the Ukrainian with this resilience and the word that there is a lack of knowledge of Polish institutions about how the Ukrainian ecosystem of Industry 4.0 looks like. So as we decide to prepare the report, being focusing on Ukrainian industry 4.0 ecosystem. Frankly, it will support us to suit better our support with not only the Ukrainian Cluster Alliance, the members, but also with this what is important for us, the Ukrainian partners from the ministry with the experiences with the digital transformation. It was mentioned several times during the speeches of Alexander and also Teresa that one of the important thing in Europe today. There are the European Digital Innovation Hubs. We are not in the European Digital Innovation Hub, but we are the national coordinator. And on that field, we would like to, and we are pretty open to share with our Ukrainian colleagues the knowledge and support how to prepare for building their own European Digital Innovation Hubs and other. And this is the third key point we would like to strengthen during the next year. Except those activities, we also would like to start to take part in the multilateral, bilateral projects, but most you would like to connect the Polish institutions with the Ukrainian one and also with the other European and worldwide institutions, because from our perspective, we would like to be the coordinator for some activities. So the next year, as we discussed with Alex last time, we would like to prepare the cyber platform, digital platform, who will be user-friendly and dedicated to collaborate between the Polish, at the very first side, but the Polish and Ukrainian partners with projects and other support will be needed.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Adrian. Yeah, really, we had a great one another lesson because I did not reach to show all my slides, but it's like kind of combine what was just said to, you know, sorry, so not this. Yeah, what was said about our collaboration. It looks like, you know, because I think in the case of each our ambassador, we started a bit ad hoc because for you, and especially in this turbulence time, Ukraine and our cluster's territory was like terra incognita. Nobody knew how to act, what to do, and many of our action were inspired by just solidarity, by willingness to add, and so on. But step by step, it looks like more, as I said, more complex, more synchronized, more systematic programs. And once again, Poland is a good example how we launch, and what is really crucial here is that from Polish side, it's led by a state agency of industry 5.0. So we had a lot of already progress in this component, you see, and it looks like, you know, for the next years, we will be led not just by, you know, spontaneous some action, but we try to plan something, yeah, for a more midterm period, and it will include different components from this side. That's what we called bilateral program, yeah. And so thanks again, Adrian, for your contribution. It's really very important for us, this approach, and like in Czech case, yours the same, the systematic support also from public bodies. Colleagues, if you have any question to this case, because we try to, you know, to present our experience, to make maybe small assessment, some conclusions, but anyway, you are welcome to ask, to put question. Raise your hand, please, and the same for Ukrainian colleagues from clusters and from cluster community. I don't see hands, so let's continue. The next case will be with Mike Richardson, once again our champion, visiting Ukraine and pushing our cluster and creating new cluster initiative. Please, Mike. We don't hear you. Your microphone is muted. Now it's good. No. Once again.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now it's okay.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining. So it's been a very intense year. Yes, as you mentioned, with the 5 visits, and I'd like to share some of our lessons learned for this time. The one thing that I'd like to emphasize above all is that take care of yourself as you're engaging with Ukraine and interacting. You may forget how intense this really is because we're working with very cooperative people and we're driven by a sense of mission. I would say that after my 5 visits, that is one of the top lessons learned, is the value of self-care, taking a break, and also realizing that what you're doing is extraordinary. Really, crossing that border alone is difficult, to put it mildly, and takes a lot out of you, to put it mildly. So that's the first one. Number 2, what I would also like to share is learning how to adjust expectations between the parties you're interfacing with in Ukraine and the parties that we're interfacing in Europe. So I think these are the primary lessons learned, right? That we can share with everyone here who is an ambassador. We have found many opportunities for collaboration with specifically European funding. However, we as ambassadors that are representing Europe to our Ukrainian sisters and brothers, we need to emphasize that a lot of these programs require very formal mechanisms and work at their own speeds. So this is something I'd like to share with ambassadors. Please communicate this to the Ukrainians because we do have funding calls that are available. However, what may not be realized is that some of these may take 6, 8, 12 months. It's guaranteed funding, but it will take time. And if you're looking to solve immediate problems, stating that you have access to European funds will not solve a problem with you're encountering within 1 to 2 months in Ukraine. On the other point, it is very important to be able to represent the projects in Ukraine. So what we have done in partnership with Katerina, who joined our efforts at Uptake BB, she was funded. Katerina, by the way, was funded by GIZ. So the GIZ has had a significant impact on this entire effort. She helped us work with our Ukrainian partners to distill the projects into a one-page format. Now, this may sound trivial, but why this is critical, especially for someone like me or anyone else who is traveling to many conferences, is like you have a Ukrainian project partner. You're able to start a dialogue with someone that's genuinely interested and they want to know what steps, what's the project, but you're fighting because people have limited attention span. If you say, let me put it this way, when you say, let me show you a PowerPoint, it takes more effort to get someone to sit down and look at that PowerPoint, an explanation, whereas an industry best practice is to give a one-pager so that someone has a one-page document to understand, this is what this Ukrainian entity, this is what this Ukrainian cluster is offering, and it gives clear indications of like entry criteria and outcomes. So I believe, actually more than believe, I know that based upon this effort between us and the Ukrainian Cluster Alliance and the entities that we visited on these trips, that this will ultimately yield benefits, meaning funded projects, because that's, after all, that's what we need here, right? We need to be able to show beyond meetings or coming together and presenting in conferences, we need to be able to show that we're actually getting money to the entities that are doing the work, delivering the value to rebuild Ukraine and also to win this war. So if there are any questions about this one-pager, and if there is significant interest in this, please contact Alexander and we could schedule another ambassadors where we would go through this process very specifically at a more technical level to show, let us say, what is entry criteria? How do you take a project you hear about or some people that need needs in Ukraine that's more, let's say, abstract and funnel it down into a form that then can be acted upon by European authorities to fund. So are there any questions about that? Because I'd be happy to answer this right now before I go into this a little more.
No, maybe not question, but just comments that this work, it was done especially with our cluster of Optech UA or Photonics. Kirill Gorokhovsky is here. So, but I'd like to say that it was very useful for other clusters, yeah, because we are from our side, we are continuous search of, you know, the most effective means of dialogue, and such short presentation of project idea or real project is really was helpful for us to establish, to you know, to go to next iteration, to maybe to develop this communication means, and it concern as well other cluster, not just photonics. So thanks for that, Mike, and Katarina as well. Yeah.
So now the next thing to add is that a lot of this preparatory work now, I believe we need to be executing, and I would urge our fellow ambassadors to have tangible results of this work sooner rather than later, even if it is somewhat showy. And this means physicality is what I am going to push for. So I had the honor of meeting Martin Kretschmann, for example, from the composites cluster, right? And we had a great meeting in Berlin. And why I'm mentioning him is like maybe we can get something going with his cluster and get something physical that can be held in hand and shown. Part of the war we're fighting is a war of minds right now. And the other side, unfortunately, is, I would say, in a superior position. So every little thing like we can show like this to advance and strengthen Ukraine's position and perception is critical at this time. So I would ask any ambassadors, is there something that we can think of where we can say, let's say by March next year, yes, this thing I'm holding was made possible by this. We have an active project and it led to this physical thing. Or if it's not physical, here is the website that was created, that is running. Here is the tool set. Or I'll even go beyond this. Here is a report on cyber activities, cyber, interdictions that were funded, but something to show outcomes, because what's going to happen? And we're ambassadors, so there's time for I forget the name of I'll use Chatham House protocols right now. I'll invoke those, meaning that we've not really to be specific when we discuss this on the outside. But I'm sure other ambassadors have heard that there's discussion about corruption in Ukraine. Whatever the truth is about this, I see is something I'm not going to deal with. But what I can do is change perceptions so that people do not see Ukraine as corrupt. And one way of doing this is to show outputs from these funded activities, no matter how small the outputs are, because that can be a rallying cry or something that all of us as ambassadors can build upon. Because I've heard these comments, and I would be easier for me to counter these comments to say, look, how long did it take for Poland to ascend? What about how long it took to match the courts, right? And say, okay, we can talk about this. However, look at what our clusters have done here. Look at this composite airframe. Look at this smart city testing unit. Hey, let me show you this application that was funded from these efforts. And that's really what I don't want to take too much time. That's what I would add as we are moving forward. Let's make 24 the year of delivery. Let's start showing people.
Yeah, great idea. Great idea, Mike. Thanks.
May I add something to what Mike said? Mike, thanks for mentioning our meeting. It's been really productive. Katarina showed me the one-pager which she prepared in order to channel the project ideas and systematize a little bit. I took it one-to-one, the same one-pager, because I think standardization is also key. If we all communicate on the same level with the same simple documents, because we don't need a lot of bureaucracy. It's about sharing the ideas in a transparent manner, and the more we standardize the simple documents, the better. This is one thing I would like to mention. A second thing, when talking about success stories, I totally agree, Mike. I can't show any success story yet. Also, we haven't applied for any funding yet, but we are preparing together with Andrzej Czulak from the Polish Composite Technology Cluster and the Ukrainian Cluster of Advanced Materials Technologies. They already carry out a training center in Lviv, where they want to offer trainings from their own experts, but also carried out by experts in a digital, virtual way, of course, from Poland, Germany, and maybe also Czech Republic, and whoever has some skills to offer. And we use the one pager right now in order to gather a need list like of priorities, which topics are most important to carry out trainings for professionals in Ukraine who will work in Ukrainian companies. And hopefully find an adequate funding mechanism with European Union money, for example, or German federal money, and yeah, push this topic forward next year. So thanks for hearing me out with this one.
Thank you, Martin. I see you raised hand from Teresa. Teresa, please. That's Sotiris.
Yes, please. I hope you will hear me because it's a bit windy here. But it's exactly what we have been thinking about. We have created a micro website called smartukraine.eu that is hosted in Czechia. That is an EU domain, and where we can place every single success from this network related to topics we would like to publish. And it was, in fact, one of the quite strong PR tools for our government to be persuaded really that it is worth to start a collaboration and to support it. And that there are some outputs that are really like objective ones, and that are not only a kind of activity of some kind of interest group or something. So we already have this tool. The only problem is that there is not enough capacity at our side to administrate this web page and to put there all the successes the network has achieved. So I can offer just a very simple arrangement. Our website administrator can grant access rights to anybody from APAO or UCA or somebody. Because like this, we can publish the achievements of our network in a stable way and put there some kind of news or these 1 or 2 pages about the topics, about the achievements like over half of the year or this year or something like that. Because we really think that we need towards European governments, European Commission and the other stakeholders such a kind of in fact a window to have a look inside the network and to see who is involved and which are the objective outcomes.
Yeah, we'll think about it because we, that we last month we already started this like consolidation of how to say preparing some grant submission for our program. And I think we can put inside this idea how to support as well communication means. But I totally agree with Mike Richardson that a tangible result, the sooner the better. Yeah. So, and of course we should support this result we already have. Yeah, like success story with relevant means. Mike,
we have ILA. I'll be the last one. We have ILA, the air show in Berlin in June. Okay, maybe amongst all of us, can we get a non-weaponized drone? And can we keep the ears open? Because if there's going to be a Ukrainian delegation coming to ILA in Berlin, we'd sure like to know about it. At least in advance instead of the week of it occurring. Because if we know about it in advance, this ILA event could be a great rallying point for ambassadors of Ukraine. I think it would cover a lot of technology that's covered by ambassadors here.
It will
the full aerospace vertical.
What is the date of this?
Just a second, let me get that to you.
Okay.
It's it's a huge air show, and there's a significant dual use component, space sciences, etc. And if we know that there's someone from Ukraine coming, then we could all perhaps utilize this event for our mutual benefit.
Okay.
ILA is June 5th to 8th.
June. Okay. Yeah, because of course we try also to plan some calendar, some schedule of our activity. So it's important also to put some big manifestation into one schedule. Sotiris,
and our quantum event. Sorry, the last one. I'm sorry, is our quantum event that everyone needs to be aware of this. That we have the next event, formal event, is in Warsaw, March 13 and 14 2024. Any ambassadors, I think we will make allowances to get ambassadors to come, whether you're involved in quantum or not. And this is an event that formally includes Ukraine interfacing with the European Defense Administration. Considering the changes that are being made now with the funding mechanism, specifically the START, if I'm remembering this correctly, that all European funding mechanisms are going to be put under an umbrella for strategic autonomy to facilitate shifting funds between, let's say, Horizon Europe and European Defense Fund. And the opportunity being presented is to have a seal of sovereignty, or if I might be getting the terms wrong on this, but this is important for ambassadors here to know that we have an opportunity to have a project rated with an approval that if you don't win the funding call, you still have an excellent project that supports European autonomy, and that will fast track you for the other funding mechanisms.
Mhm.
So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Really, I forgot to mention about this big manifestation. We've got this opportunity. We got thanks to Mike about this quantum technology defense conference in Warsaw. It will be mid of March next year, and yeah, thanks to Mike, Ukraine is like co-organizer of this event. But well, our contributions are small, but really we honor it to be there. And we have today big consolidation processes and, let's say, a set of how to say, negotiations or agreement with different ministry, tried to build really consolidated position with regard to dual use technology. Because for us, it's really very important, you know, to enter and to have better access to ENDR program, to European Defense Fund, and Mike serve us like, let's say, our driver, like leader to open the door in this different opportunity. So thanks a lot for that. It was this year was for us really full of discovery in this area, and it's really thanks to you. Sotiris, I see your raised hand, please.
Greetings to all. It's good to see you and hear you about all the efforts that have been going on for the last year. I want to make some notes on Mike's comments and not the following. As per my experience dealing with Ukrainian businesses or clusters, we have an issue that we start the process with a company in Ukraine. We start the process and then suddenly they disappear. 2 months later, they reappear again. No explanation why this is happening. And if it is an SME, that is understandable. But if it is, you know, one of the flagship corporations of Ukraine, that creates a credibility issue with the counterparts. Most of these companies are publicly owned. And what I want to raise here is this, that the ambassadors for Ukraine, all of us, really want to bring results swiftly and in a manner that will help Ukraine and the people of Ukraine. However, in 3 examples I will give you, in Cyprus, in Greece, and Morocco, which we have members in our supercluster, we have approached government officials, and the result is, that is great. Core is the Ukrainian government to support this. I know in 2 cases, the president of Ukraine visited Greece. The agenda had nowhere SMEs or universities in collaborating. And what I'm trying to say is that unfortunately, Ukraine is no longer either mentioned in many areas. So my proposal, and some that all of the ambassadors should work on together with you, say is this: it's good to have small projects, but we have to co-develop flagship projects. They're so big that will create shock and awe. Either it's on the Berlin Air Show, and the only way that this is going to happen is that if we join together and find those projects and, you know, commit that we're going to develop them. It doesn't matter in which country they're going to happen, okay? Because the EU is a common market. The point is that they have to happen. And the state that Ukraine is now in the next 5 years, because we have the accession period, it could be 10 years, is that Ukraine, like many Eastern Balkan countries, at the beginning cannot be policy driven. You know, the EU creates policy. Now, there's no industry in Ukraine that operates properly in order to follow these policies. So they have to be project driven. So I want, first of all, to congratulate everybody that is part of this, I would say, technology movement. Definitely, whoever, and including myself, going to Ukraine is not considering the harm that may happen in our, or the risk when we all the time we think that we have to help our Ukrainian friends and the people of Ukraine. Now, from a technology point of view, I'm certain that we have to start submitting at least abstracts with some deadlines or roadmap of what projects should be co-developed. That's my proposal. This could happen next 2-3 months. Then we can sit down together and see, you know, what are the stakes for this and who are the possible stakeholders to start with, and then together, all the 43 or 50, which we represent among us probably more than 20,000 companies. I think the 43 people that are here, including with the 6,000 members that UCA has in our clusters commonly, we have more than 20,000 members. That's power. Then if we convince all these companies and the stakeholders to provide valid LOIs and represent to all the governments and the European Commission such projects with, you know, we're going to involve Deloitte or PricewaterhouseCoopers to even do, you know, not just a feasibility study, but economic impact study in short term, medium term, and long term. That is going to do the best for the people of Ukraine and Ukraine. Hope I didn't took too much of your time. Best of luck for everybody and happy holidays as well.
Thank you, Sotiris. I fixed it, your idea. I think it's a great idea how to develop a flagship project in multilateral collaboration. Really, let's think about it and act, on this target next year. So, but anyway, colleagues, we have our agenda, and there are still it was planned a short speech for some other colleagues. So Andrzej Chulak, then Alex Czerwowski, please, it's the floor is yours. Andrzej, are you with us?
Yeah, yes, I'm with you. Thank you very much for the invitation. And what I can say only thank you very much, because in your presentation and in the presentation or speech of Teresa, there was enough about our cluster. But what I say, we see huge possibility for the collaboration with the Ukraine, and we know that if we can together help Ukraine, the Europe will be safer for the future. From our point of view, we are the composite cluster. That means I can say the composite materials, they are everywhere. That means in military purpose, but also in the building industry, in the automotive industry. That means our companies, our research institution, we can develop together, of course, with the colleagues from Germany, like the Martin Kretschmann, together a different solution for the defense, like drones, for the lightweight construction, for the rebuilding of the Ukraine. But because in our cluster we have many research institutions which are not only involved in the composite material, we can offer we can offer also be in the project where not only will be dealing with the composite materials. And from my proposal, last Friday I met with not last one before. No?
Yeah,
the time is running. With Alexander, and I show him the virtual world which we developed for the creation of the easy meeting between our members. But here we can offer this virtual world for the next meeting of us. And of course, if it's necessary, or if we will happy with this virtual world, we can also organize how we planned together with the Martin Kretschmann, with Composite United Cluster, the session lecture for the companies, for the clusters from the Ukraine, but also for the universities or companies from the Ukrainian cluster. And next time, because today I am not exactly prepared for the presentation of this virtual world, for this virtual fairs and conference room, next time I will send the invitation to all of you, and we can meet in this virtual world where we can, or I can send also the presentation of such virtual fairs which we have to all of you, and there will be for the next time, I hope, very good time or possible for discussion and the meeting point of all us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrzej. And once again, I just like to remind to everybody about this, let's say, brilliant case. We've got after Košice, because Andrzej, I always tell about this story when we spoke with Andrzej in Košice. It was in March this year. And I mentioned about our problem going abroad for men, and Andrzej said, what's the problem? We can come to you. And it took just 3 months to organize, this big delegation of Polish cluster, Polish entrepreneur to Ukraine, to Lviv, and we got this conference. And special thanks to Andrzej to bring with you Martin Kretschmann, because today it looks already like like multilateral collaboration. What Teresa mentioned it. Yeah, we have Polish cluster, we have German cluster, and you also inspired us to create, to push up, to accelerate creation cluster of advanced materials in our alliance. And maybe there is some guys from today, but anyway, we move very quickly, and it's thanks to you. It's thanks to your effort, to your idea, to your support. So I think such case we will have more and more. This is good example how how our ambassador, I don't say cluster, because cluster is something like abstract, because it's always about real people, real professionals, which really wants to support us, and it's really great example for us. Thanks, Andrzej. I see you raise your hand again. So Ludovico, please.
Hi, and good afternoon to everyone. Good to talk to you, all of you. Well, I want to thank you, Alex, for all the work you've been doing this year with Mike and all the ambassadors. Obviously, I just want to renew our engagement from our Spanish government on the support to Ukraine current situation, even though we do understand that currently it's a very difficult moment, especially because of the winter. And obviously, a lot of things have not been happening like you expected. But however, I think in these difficult times, we have to be there, your side, basically supporting as many initiatives we can, really to enhance and make sure that in the near future we'll be able to rebuild your country. And that's the intention, basically, what we're doing with our national cybersecurity agency, and we will continue doing it as much we can. So this is very important. Obviously, for us, it's it's a big effort, obviously, because we are putting all the resources that we can have our side. We don't ask you anything for this, but we do it with pleasure, and we will continue doing this year. And we'll try to work out different programs with the European Union and different partners that we can really support in new activities with you. Yeah. So it's just to make clear to all of you that, you know, we're there to engage with you, and then basically we're standing there, and then we'll continue doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Ludovico. I think Igor Vizuma will comment later our relationship with in this area, cybersecurity. Now I'd like to switch to Alex Chiosowski, yeah, because we have just two ambassadors in our program, US representative. One is Tristan, he's not today with us. The second one, and it's a really pleasure for me to present Alex Chiosowski, because CSIA, Control System Integrator Association from US, was first one who proposes this, you know, systematic approach how to build ambassador program. So Alex, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Alexander. Those of you that I've had a pleasure of speaking in front of before know I'm a very realistic person, and I focus on tangible, actionable results on the ground. So I mentioned a platform that we designed that makes it very easy for both organizations and individual companies to become honorary members of APAO, which is, of course, the Cluster Alliance. The website, I wanted to show an example very quickly to give you a little bit of idea. This process is something that can be replicated quite easily for at the country level or at the industry sector level. This is a website that is hosted, as you can see, by APAO and has the corresponding branding, but it talks a little bit about the themes that we're trying to instill and to keep the message front and center in front of the international community about the fact that Ukraine still very much needs their partnership and support. It gives some specific value propositions that we deliver as part of this honorary membership. It talks about the resilience and recovery projects that are available, and of course it gives you some specific gifts that you receive as part of your honorary membership. Provide some example companies that are already part of this organization, and then you can see here is the very simple ask. It's a $750 US annual membership fee that companies can simply submit their information. A member of APAO will contact them and get started through the membership process. I think this is something that can be used as a template for many other similar or related projects, but also I invite all of you to think about some ways to make this personal to you and apply it to your own industry, apply it to your own line of work, especially when the focus and the attention is unfortunately waning from the Ukrainian situation, and with the military environment not looking like it's going to yield any kind of significant improvement in the near term. We have to do, I fully agree with the comments that were made about these large mega projects that will really get a lot of recognition, but I think we have to start building small before we can get to the larger projects, and this is a concrete, very reasonable way for companies to get involved. So I welcome you to, I'll send the link for the website. Please take a look and then engage with Alexander and his team. If you'd like to create something similar for Czech companies or Polish companies or companies in the photonics industry or anyone that wants to replicate this, I think it's something that can get quite a bit of momentum because it's a very easy give for companies to do just a $750 annual membership fee, and they get honorary status as a member of the Ukrainian organization. So happy to answer any questions, but that's it for me, Alex. You are on mute.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Alex, because you know that when we typically end of year, like any professionals association, yeah, as well cluster associations, we make summary of our result, also financial result. We always say about contribution from in our budget, different source, and it was especially crucial 2022 last year, yeah, because the impact of CSA help was really crucial for us to sustain Ukrainian cluster alliance, because of course it mentioned always about APAU, but APAU in fact was main co-founder of Ukraine cluster alliance, and we really reinvested this money to consolidate clusters, to support our executive team, because in executive we have 7 managers today, and of course it's salary of people and so on. So it could not be sustainable without this support, this financial support, because donor support or some, as Mike mentioned about pan-European funding support, is typically very slow. Yeah, and this, due to this money, we really could survive and keep this structure like workable and really effective. So, but of course we can continue, because we still need, we under financing today, and typically we need more financial support. That's true. So thanks a lot, Alex, for this support from US. Okay, colleagues, let's go further to other, because it was planned some other speeches, short speech. I don't know if Tatiana Vorontsova is with us, because he planned to replace Anastasia Konstantinova and talk a bit about a relationship with Netherlands. Tatiana, are you with us? If not, so Igor Kosyuba, please, let's continue about cybersecurity and dual use.
Yes, thank you, Alex. Good evening, everyone. So basically, regarding cybersecurity, it was joint action of Alex, APAU, and me. So considering the fact that cluster development is something the most suitable for us now in cybersecurity as well, to unite our efforts. I mean, we were segregated in terms of collaboration, I do believe, in Horizon Europe projects, in many other initiatives. So now I'm happy. So me personally, who doesn't know, I'm representative of Ukraine now in Cluster 3, which is cybersecurity, and basically Commission is encouraging national contact points and partners to involve more of Ukraine into project. I think that cluster is our cybersecurity cluster, which is already registered, and Alex is running this integration in industry. So we brought there our industrial partners we worked with on cybersecurity projects, like banks, SEB Bank, Prekarpattia Oblenergo, which is a regional energy grid provider. And with Teresa, we had amazing missions to Czech Republic, and we create opportunities for bilateral, multilateral business. And but I believe that cluster can be an amazing platform for transparent and fair collaboration of cybersecurity stakeholders in Ukraine. The most important thing, we are well perceived by both public authorities, local city councils, cybersecurity company, private companies, and customers, like in banking, in critical infrastructure. So I think that all these opportunities, all this communication we've got can lead and must lead to fruitful and transparent and fair collaboration. So that's what I'm working for in Cluster now. We continue working on project. We encourage, after our mission, recent mission to Czech Republic, we're thinking about some interesting projects together, and basically I think that cybersecurity cluster, our cybersecurity cluster, can be really good platform to enrich and intensify participation of Ukraine in security domain in Europe, both with basically, let's say, big sharks and companies we work with. In 2-3 projects, Ukraine wins every year, but via cluster, I think that it can be intensified. So thank you, Alex. Thank you all. And basically early next year, we'll communicate with all of you with our established communication now in European Union and in the US, Canada. How can we work together on that? Just because stakeholders who work on cybersecurity basically interested in such not umbrella, I believe, like platform for again, transparent collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you, Igor. I think clusters are needed, or some business support organization, if I extend this notion, are needed to also to facilitate this dialogue between state organization, public organization, because just today, Ludovico, I spoke to Despet Zvezdaok as a guys, and it's clear there is some kind of discommunication within SIBA. So we agreed that we should, let's say, to organize something like new maybe to facilitate this dialogue, because there is something which not so obvious, so easy between the state agency, and I see the role of cluster will be in the future crucial in that, to improve this level of dialogue, different level. I think this is really good news for us that such cluster is already created in Ukraine. Thanks to Igor for this initiative. Because Igor is our leading expert in Industry 4.0 of cybersecurity. He has his own company on startups, but he understood this year that maybe in some, if we're talking about development, if you're talking about consolidation in dual use and defense technology, it's better to go through cluster mechanism, and this is really good. Also, let's say, good progress of this year. So, colleagues, I think that Tiana Vorontsova and Konstantinova, which had to present medical cluster, are not with us. So let's maybe go to the final conclusion, because the time is running very fast. So regarding strategic perspective of this year, so the situation in Ukraine is really quite difficult and maybe a bit even confusing, because from one side there is a lot of talks about recovery, construction, but the problem is nobody knows when the war will be finished, and so when this recovery project will start. From another side, there is quite difficult situation frontline, because a problem with delivery of weapons. Today, it's almost everybody from frontline, our soldiers, officer, they talks about lack of weapon, and of course we mobilize Ukrainian clusters to go this way, to help our army, to armed forces of Ukraine, to take this. Today we are talking about defensive and not about counter-offensive. So if I summarize which way we go, as a resilience, as a recovery, of course, the situation is quite difficult, and not just in Ukraine, but in global. We see how this element of VUCA act on geopolitical situation in not just in Ukraine, but in Europe, in US. And of course, there is big problem, big question mark about strategic perspective with our allies, just because there is also this discussion in Ukraine that nobody understands how it looks like the end of the war. What does it mean, victory? I mean, especially in relation with Russia. Teresa, we hear you. And of course, there is some kind of fatigue from Ukraine, because of populism, because of these weaknesses of democracy, because all politicians depends on electors. And so all this influence on our relationship, yeah, and for us, we perceive this like big challenge, yeah, how be in this situation still more resilient and more solidarity, because solidarity is the value number one of our program. This is the reason why many of you help us today in this situation. So Ukraine Cluster Alliance, we of course our response to move still to foster this strategy we are developing during the last period. Yeah, more than a year. This is about a fast integration in EU value chain. It's like classic what the European Commission say us, but with, let's say, some maybe more focus or even change of priority, because we'd like to more focus on a sector of dual use, middle tech, and of course critical infrastructure, means energy, infrastructure, heating district, and so on, smart city. So this sector is really important for us, and we mobilize clusters to how to build resilient value chain in this sector. Second one, what was mentioned today about integration into EU innovative ecosystem, and there are many good signs how to develop collaboration here in this because you see that we have more and more cluster in industrial high tech, which make partnership with European cluster. So this really crucial for us to develop this partnership. And third one, what was mentioned today, how to maybe to scale up already this first example we have with Czech Republic and with Poland, and maybe to go this way with other countries, yeah, to develop this multilateral bilateral collaboration, which is really complex and especially touch government. So what was proposed in the article, which summarized result of this year, that maybe we can establish, as what was said today, some more tangible result, in each area with each ambassador, to have more different projects, soft and hard, and really to go to real business, to set up maybe more transaction between B2B company, and of course we'd like to have more such project financially supported by national government and pan-European institution. So we will continue this way we started. Like this year, there was a lot of exchange with Czech Republic and Poland in policy making, benchmarking, partner UA program, resilience recovery, also B2B, C2C exchange, and EU program, which we have a lot today open for Ukraine. But of course, this is question also collaboration, how we go there, with which proposal, project idea, a real project. So everything you said about this, like one page paper for project idea is really relevant to this direction. Last but not least, we will let's say make some awards like last year. It's not prepared for today because I don't want go alone, to this award to assess our ambassador, but we will do it anyway. Today we really thanks, and we have big gratitude to everybody of our list today include 27 of our ambassador, and we really very recognize to everybody, to each of you, because it's what you provide to us. It's not just about some projects, some financial, some money, some some perspective for the future, but even on psychological, moral way, it's really crucial for us, for our cluster, for our coordinator, to be supported by such way like you do. So thanks a lot, and I wish you all the best. To take care. Of course, Merry Christmas, because we are at the end of the year, and let's continue for the next year. Colleagues, if there are any questions to this last slide, please. Final comments. Applause to everybody. Yes. Thanks to everybody. Maybe some guys from clusters, because Igor was one of cluster manager from Ukraine, but maybe some other colleagues can comment what you hear in this today. I don't see maybe who can. Anyway, colleagues, if somebody from Ukraine side can comment, please do it. Okay, I don't see. Maybe it's in Ukraine. It's almost 7 p.m. So maybe everybody is tired. Anyway, colleagues, we will continue in January with maybe discussing this planning the year, planning concrete action. So once again, thank you all, and let's continue. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks a lot.
Alexander.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very
Alex.
much.
you.
Have a nice Christmas.
Merry
Have a nice
Christmas to all of
Happy
you.
Christmas to
holidays.
everyone.